page. So this is a real-time educational framework tool based on the Neurodynamic Navigator system. All suggestions in this app are system generated from the Neurodynamic Navigator framework, not personal advice from a licensed professional. So even though I created it, I created this model, this doesn't mean that I'm seeing the information that you're inputting into this app and I'm not making decisions based on that. Based on the model that I've created, there are some options that are being created for you to kind of help you navigate different situations. So the first phase is pre-flight calibration. So in the book, I call it reciprocal calibration, often called co-regulation. So before you support your pilot meaning your child, your PDA, individual in your home, you must calibrate your own system. You'll be asked to rate your own regulation. If you're in your own red zone, your pilot will detect that stress. The app guides you through a quick calibration before you engage. And the red zone will be that area where there's a lot of stress going on. I think you'll recognize what the red zone is once you learn more about it. And I also call the times when things are going well and everyone's regulated in flow zones, I call that the blue sky period. So we're going to look for those blue sky and red zones. Phase 2, understanding the HUD, which means heads up display. The core of this app is a neurodynamic quotient. NDQ formula is dynamic safety times dynamic capacity plus motivation. So that's the formula that I created that a lot of this is based on. There are other formulas underneath this that calculate dynamic safety and dynamic capacity, but you don't need to understand those, but they are described in my book. So from there, we look at a 0 to 100, and that has been calculated in that way to just really kind of make it easy to understand where you are on that scale. So blue sky means 80 to 100. This is the sign of optimal growth and connection and flow states. Light turbulence, 61 to 80, it means we're stabilizing and shifting. And this is where you're going to shift to declarative language. So what you'll see throughout here is you'll see recommendations based on where your pilot is in that NDQ 0 to 100. Severe turbulence, 40 to 60. This means you're going to drop non-essential demands. And emergency landing, this is your red zone. Below 40, you're going to prioritize rate regulation and safety above all. Phase 3 is the S variable triage. So this app is going to help you distinguish two types of threats. Your big S, which is an objective physical threat. There is a bear in front of our child right now. Versus little s, our child feels unsafe because the sound is too loud in this room. So that is a subjective felt threat to the nervous system versus an actual physical threat. The nervous system in a pilot does not recognize these differences, and so we're going to learn to help differentiate them because our response is important. Obviously, if there's a big physical S threat, we become first responders and we have to help them. If it's a little s threat, we have to help navigate the environment and make the environment more conducive to their comfort. Phase 4 is learning about the inanimate boss. So our demands create a social demand from eye contact, from speaking. So we're going to learn how to use things that become the boss that aren't us. We're going to use integrated timers, now next boards, to externalize authority, and really by helping to keep the autonomy in the child, the pilot. Okay? So by letting the app be the boss, you stay the safe navigator, protecting the relationship and keeping the autonomy alarm quiet. And then your mission. You're going to check in often, even during blue sky moments, because we're looking for those blue sky moments. We're looking to see what environmental things help your child feel safe and comfortable in that moment. And we're going to work on safety first. If there is a big S event and you're a first responder, there is a crisis protocol here that I would want you to go through in those moments, because these are data points. And remember, our pilot isn't the only one that loses their regulation in times of red zones. We do as well. So sometimes just being reminded, here are some things we can do to try to help reduce the stress in this moment is the purpose. And then there is a link to my book, which is the framework, the Neurodynamic Navigator, from there. And just a reminder, this is an educational tool, not a substitute for professional, medical, or clinical advice.